Good evening, everybody. My name is Wes Davies. Welcome back to another video. I think this one is going to be very, very special. You might be able to hear the festivities going on behind me. I'm up here in Keelung City, Taiwan, and it is Guiyue. It is Ghost Month, which means that certain cities around Taiwan celebrate something called Ghost Festival. Keelung City is known for holding one of the most culturally significant ghost festivals in all of Taiwan. So I've come here for a couple of days, hopefully to learn more about this spectacular event. It already seems quite wild to me. There's a huge parade out there, so I'm just gonna follow the parade and see what I can learn about this very, very unique and culturally significant festival here in Keelung. So let's check it out. All right, so I am following this parade as it snakes its way through the city of Keelung. Actually, I have no idea whether you can hear me or not. It is so noisy, so loud, but it's created this really kind of almost festive and party atmosphere on these normally quiet streets of Keelung. So I'm just gonna keep on following the train and see where it takes me. All right, so I've done a little bit of research as I've been sort of following the parade along, and this is called the Water Lantern Parade. And what's going to happen is the parade will march up and down the streets of Keelung, visiting the 4 most famous and most significant temples in the city, kind of bringing along the blessings and the good fortune and good luck to each of the temples. And then we're going to all head over to the river where they will release some lanterns into the water. And I will tell you a little bit later what that means in terms of its cultural significance. Being Ghost Month, there's a lot of kind of little rituals and festivities that go on, but more on that later. I see the parade is taking off again, so I'm going to keep on traveling. All right, welcome back. It's been a couple hours. I followed the parade actually all the way to a little port village called Wanghaixiang, and the taxi driver who took me over here was so nice. He was probably the nicest taxi driver I've ever had. He actually told me he will wait here for me and take me back to Keelung City, even if it takes me a couple hours to do my filming out here. And he even gave me a little pack of Ferrero Rocher chocolates. I mean, that just goes to show you how nice Taiwanese people can be. As for this little town, it's nestled right along the ocean side. I can see the lights of Jiufan up in the distance, one of my other favorite places in Taiwan. We're kind of in this anxious sort of waiting mode right now. They just crane lifted a boat across the field toward the water. I'm sure that's going to come into play at some point during the festival. I know it's noisy, but it's been noisy all night. And one of the things I wanted to mention, in the West, we don't really have Ghost Festival. We don't have Ghost Month, but in a lot of Asian cultures and particularly Taiwanese culture, Ghost Festival is the 7th month of the lunar calendar, and that's kind of when the doors of the spirit world open up and the ghosts will come into the world of the living. So that's why all month long you'll have these little festivals and rituals, and they do a lot of feasts and offerings to the ghosts. And then tomorrow actually, and maybe even tonight, it's all part of the day that the ghosts return back to the spirit world. And that's part of what's going to happen tonight. They're going to release all of these lanterns into the ocean, and that is supposed to help the ghosts as they make their journey back into the spirit world. I mean, this is all so fascinating for me. And the taxi driver, he really explained a lot of this stuff to me. I learned a lot from him already, and this has just been a really exciting and surprising night. I wasn't expecting this at all. I knew there was going to be a parade, but I mean, just the colorful watches that they call them, the flower cars. I mean, they're all dazzling, they're all exciting, they're all playing this pump-up music. It's just been a really fun, really festive night, and I can tell people are here with their families and their kids. Okay, the trucks are moving here, I gotta go. I will catch up with you in just a little bit here. Alright, honestly, what a fantastic night last night at the Water Lantern Festival, the Feng Shui Deng. Really enjoyed myself. I've never quite seen anything like that in Taiwan. It did remind me a little bit of the boat burning festival in Donggang, but just the atmosphere was so special. You could just tell everyone was in such a festive and positive mood. Really such an incredible event to witness firsthand. All right, so now it is day number 2. I'm still up here in Keelung, and this is the Pudu altar. And as you can see right behind me, they're setting up a massive feast. Everything on these tables looks just so perfectly kind of organized and well laid out. And I will just walk around a little bit and show you exactly what's going on, because just like last night, this is a very significant and special day, especially for the people here in Keelung City. Alright, so this altar is actually built very high up on a hill. This location is very special because it can overlook the entire city of Keelung. And this feast that you can see all around me is called the Jin Song Yuan. And this feast has been specifically prepared for the spirits. As I mentioned last night, it is Ghost Month, so the spirits have come down to the world of the living. And this is probably, I think, the biggest feast like this in Taiwan. And it is kind of set up to make the ghosts feel welcome, feel like we are being hospitable to them, in the hopes that they enjoy themselves, and eventually at the end of Ghost Month, they will return peacefully into the spirit world. And one of the most amazing parts about this festival, this ghost festival up here in Keelung City, is that they have actually been doing this same celebration, this same ritual for 166 years already. And there was a very friendly gentleman who was giving us some of the local history and telling us what this means to the city of Keelung, because they actually have not missed a single year in all of that time. I'm learning so much fascinating history today about the city of Keelung and even Taiwanese history. The people who first settled this region, they were actually from a multiple different number of families. And of course, when they first came here, there was very little land around the harbor side. So the families were actually in conflict with each other. They were fighting, and unfortunately, around 108 people lost their lives in those battles. So what has been happening ever since then is, at the time, the local leaders, the leaders of the community, came together and they realized the fighting has to stop. There must be some better way that they could live peacefully with each other. So they actually created this event, or I guess I should say that is when this event was truly born. And so every single year since then, a different family has been in charge of putting on the festival. So I thought that was a really inspiring story, that they turned this negative conflict into actually something that really benefits the community. It's culturally significant, and it's also kind of a way for each family to show their influence and their power every year within the community. One thing you'll quickly realize is that each table actually has a very specific or special purpose. So for example, this table here is all vegetarian food. And then this table right here, you can see there's seafood, there's fish, all kinds of different things. This is the non-vegetarian table. And then this table here, I thought this was really, really special, holds a special place in my heart anyways. Because Taiwan has such a rich history, and there's been many, many different nationalities of people who have passed through the island. Japanese, Dutch, French, Spanish, Portuguese. So this table is actually for the spirits of the Western world. So they have sushi, they have donuts, they even have hamburgers, they have hot dogs. And for me, that really just shows that the Taiwanese people are so friendly and so compassionate that they're even thinking about the Western spirits and making sure that those spirits still have something that they enjoy to eat. We just witnessed an absolutely wonderful sunset, so picturesque, up here at this altar, overlooking the entire harbor of Keelung, the sun just slowly setting over the tops of the roofs and the mountains. For me, it's just so incredible to see the citizens of Keelung City just coming together like this, all the organization and planning that this must have taken. I can really feel the heart of the Keelung people and kind of their respect for the spirits who are coming down into the physical realm, as well as respect for these cultures and traditions that keep living on generation after generation. Okay, it is approaching 7 o'clock p.m. and this is the start of the official Pudu section of this ceremony, the moment when the spirits are invited down to start taking part in this feast, which they have been diligently creating and getting ready all day long. as you can see, the feast is officially over, and now it is time for the final part of this festival, which is the Jiaozhangkui. And what this means is, well, it's a little bit well known that some of the spirits can be a little bit jealous and will try to pull members of the living back into the spirit world with them. So this guy, he is dressing up in full makeup, full costume, and his job is to help almost scare the spirits back into their own realm to prevent any bad luck befalling on those of us here attending the festival. Once again, I'm just constantly amazed by Taiwanese culture, the local customs. We don't really have anything like this in Canada. You know, we have Christmas, Easter, Halloween, maybe a little bit similar with the Ghost Month. But I'm just constantly surprised and amazed by Taiwan's incredibly unique, diverse culture. So I just want to give thanks to all the Keelung residents who donated money and made efforts to plan this event. Due to their hard work, everyone in Taiwan, and even those visiting from abroad, should really come see this incredible port city of Keelung and really get to experience the amazing history that you can see all around you here.